In fact, that's what I want to speak on, it being beautiful.
Yes.
And there has been some beautiful things that has taken place in our lives. And the question is, have you seen the beauty of the beautiful things that's been in our lives? I think about those things because it's very important how we see beauty. I think about my wife and I when we first got married. It was a very strange thing because we met when we were in grade school. And to me, she was a very beautiful little girl. But the beauty that I had for her then, the eyesight that I had for her was different because as we left grade school, we went to high school. All of a sudden, the beauty that I saw in her in grade school changed. And no longer was that beauty the same, but now I went into a high school beauty. Different kind of beauty. It's the stages that we go through in life that causes how we see beauty. So when we got high school, it was different. Then when we got out of high school and she went to college and I went to the military, when I saw her now, there was a different type of beauty. And then we got married. And then when we got married, there was still a different type of beauty. So beauty changes. Beauty changes as we go through different things in our lives. Let me read this to you. What does it mean to be beautiful? The original Greek and Hebrew words used in the Bible that are translated beauty gives some interesting clues. One word describes that which is ripe in its season, produced at the right time. Things are loveliest and best when they are in the right season. But that's true. That's when they become beautiful. Life has its seasons. And every season can be the prime of life if we best represent that season in which we are now living. There's a difference. The mature beauty of an older person is quite different from that of a 20-year-old with an attractive appearance. The beauty of an infant is different from the emerging beauty of an older child. Have you ever seen an ugly child? All right, be careful how you say that, because sometimes when we talk about that and we say, that's a precious child. And the reason we say that because all children aren't really beautiful when they're first born. They grow into beauty, but little children, little babies, when they first come out, aren't always, they're beautiful, they're precious no matter how you look at it. Amen. So the beauty of an infant is different from the emerging beauty of an older child. Each has its seasonal beauty. Another word is associated with the beauty of holiness, majesty, splendor. God has this beauty, and those who walk with Him reflect it. Still another Bible word speaks of grace, favor, and sweetness, charm. Sweetness and charm. This beauty transcends all of the seasons of life, though it may mature as one grows older. Combine all of these and there is a special beauty in simply, physically beautiful and pleasing to behold, filled with grace and charm and pleasing to be with, presenting well the proper season of life, and filled with the beauty of God, the holiness and majesty. Beauty. Beauty, as I look at it, is really just skin deep. I look at beauty and I can see beauty in almost anything that you look at. Even when I look at things, women, for example, they have beauty schools you go to. Why? Because they want to become beautiful. And what are they trying to become beautiful? Because that's an outward appearance. They want to see how beautiful they are. And we're going to talk about a beauty school that Vashti even went to at one time or another. Beauty school is very important. I don't know about, I see women right now, when they get up on the days they go to work or whenever they're coming to church, the first thing they do is prepare themselves to see how they're going to look before they come to church. Men, not so much. We grab whatever we find. And if it can go on, if somebody don't tell us that don't look right, we'll put it on and run with it. And so you got to tell us, but women, you women want to be beautiful when you come out. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's a fantastic thing. So when I see my wife going out in the mornings, when I see her looking the way she looks, the first thing I want to say is, baby, you look beautiful. And the reason I say that because I know what she has gone through to dress herself up, to put her lipstick on, to get her hair done right and everything else. Plus, I want you to know this, when she goes out in the street, somebody else is going to tell her she's beautiful. But I want her to know that when she goes out there, I've already told her she's beautiful before she got there, so that she don't get so enthused about somebody out there telling her she's beautiful, that when she comes home, she knows she's still beautiful.
Amen.
So beauty is very, very, very important. Men, when's the last time you told, I wish I had a house full of men here. Men, when's the last time you told your wife that she's beautiful? Those are the things we gotta do. They need to hear that. You know what? That's an important thing. And so if you have not, and there's something wrong, and you have not told your wife that she's beautiful, what is it about her that is not beautiful that you can change? So if your wife is not, and you've heard me say this before, because I always use Jesus as the husband and the church is actually the wife, and I know how Jesus did the church, and then he presented the church to himself. So I'm saying, guys, if you have a wife that is not dressed the way you like to see her dressed, I'm going to go back and say the same thing again. Buy her the kind of dress that you like. If you don't like the way she walks, send her there. They go to school, let her walk the way you like her to walk. If you don't like her hairstyle, send her to the beauty place and get her hair fixed the way you like it. And then when that happens, do like Jesus did to the church. Present it to yourself. Let her be beautiful for you. Beauty is a very, very, very important part of life. Women need to hear that. Oh, I like to hear every now and then, Pastor, honey, you look nice today or something like that. I like to hear that also. But women need to hear that they're beautiful.
Every day.
Every day. They want to hear that every day. Beauty, as I said before, is really, really skin deep. I've gone through some experience, and I'll use my son as an example. He made a comment to me once. He was out. Of course, he's always been my son. He likes beautiful females and so forth. And he said that he was out dating a young lady, and he says she was gorgeous. In his eyesight, she was beautiful. And he says as he prepared and started talking with her, the language that she used, all of a sudden the beauty that she had when he saw her disappeared. Why? Because her inside was not the same as her outside. And there's a lot of that out there also. I remember one time when we were living in the other building up here, the church was in the other building, it's 671. I was there at church, and my office wasn't too far, and I was standing at the front door. And this lady walks out of the bar next door. There was a bar on the corner up there. And she walks out. Now, this lady was gorgeous. She was a beautiful lady. I mean, she was dressed in a beautiful white suit. It was a suit. And it was a kind of a mini, it wasn't high, but it was up there. Dressed, had her high heel shoes on and everything else. And when I first saw her walk out, I said, that is an attractive woman. She is beautiful. But then I noticed she was grabbing a hold of the pole standing in front of the church. She was so drunk she could hardly walk. She was holding on to the wall. She was staggering. She was falling. She hit the floor one time, the ground, and then she jumped back up. And I said, all of a sudden, the beauty that I saw in her outward appearance changed drastically and quickly. See what happens when we look at outside beauty? You get messed up with outside beauty. We thought that was beautiful. Beauty is only skin deep. The scripture talks about beauty. It talks about a number of different things that took place. In 1 Peter 3, 4, and 5, you should be known by the beauty that comes from within, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is so precious to God. I'm telling you, you can be beautiful on the outside and have that kind of a conversation and talk the way you do and respond the way you do, and all of a sudden your beauty will disappear. I know we've walked and we've seen some men with some, I'll put it this way, we've seen some very beautiful women with some men that look terrible. And you start wondering, what did that woman see in that man that she would want to be with him? And then we realize, you know what? He's got beauty on the inside and not on the outside. Yeah. Meaning that he is taking care of her. He is doing all that she needs. He is providing for her. All the things. His outward appearance may not be beautiful, but the way he responds to things is so much different he has become beautiful. So when you see a guy out there that has a wife that looks like, realize that she is doing something that makes her look beautiful to him. And so I say to you, it's your inside that God looks at, not so much as your outside. It's okay to look good outside. Don't get me wrong, I love that too. But it says your outward beauty. In Proverbs 19:22, loyalty makes a person attractive. And it is better to be poor than dishonest. The more we reflect God and godliness, the more we radiate His beauty. What would be more beautiful than a perfect God? To have His Spirit inside of us. What would be more beautiful than to walk like Jesus walked? What would be more beautiful than to talk like Jesus talked? What would be more beautiful than to have the compassion of Christ in your life so that when you speak and when you talk like Jesus? That's beauty. I would rather be around a person that spoke to me with gentleness. Not necessarily, gentleness being words that I need to hear. That's beauty. It doesn't always take the outward appearance to make me look that way or to make me feel that way. I feel that way because the person that is speaking with me has shown compassion and understanding. They're not angry all the time. They're not always attacking. There's a big difference. You can be beautiful and being attacked and you're no longer beautiful. A beautiful person is not always, what's the word I want to use? Tactful. 1 Samuel 16:7. People judge by outward appearance, but the Lord looks at a person's true thoughts and intentions. We train our eyes to look at someone's physical appearance. God sees through physical appearance into the heart. Society too often believes that an ugly face with a beautiful heart is an unattractive person. To God, a beauty comes from who we are, not what we look like. That is so true. It's who we are, not what we look like. Have you ever seen an ugly bride? I don't think so. I think every time you see a bride, the way she's dressed up and everything else, all brides are beautiful. If you don't, just ask the groom. He gets excited when he sees his bride come walking down to greet him. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's what you're talking about. That's what it's all about. I go back into the scripture. I like Esther, the story of Esther. That's my honey's favorite, Esther. I think Esther's fantastic. King, what's his name? Ahasuerus? Yes, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He was a king above all kings. He must have had money up on money. He had wealth up on wealth. I mean, whenever he threw a party, he threw a party. In fact, it says in the scripture, he threw a party that was so beautiful that even all the streets that he had paved with marble and gold, and he had the silver, and he had all of this jewelry, pearls, everything. I mean, he decked out everything. He pulled out the best of wines, and he had kings from all the different organizations and tribes and everybody. They were all there. And he was so proud. He showed off the best that he ever had. He had servants walking around taking care of people. Taking care of the kings. Better than they've ever been taken care of before. And then, after he had shown all of the beautiful things he had in his place, then he says, call for my queen. Have my queen come forward. So he called for Queen Vesta. They said that she had been serviced for quite a while for this occasion. When I say service, they took care of their women. I mean, they had her adorned with the best gold, with the best hairdo, and had her smelling so beautiful, and put the most beautiful clothes on her, decked her out to no end. I mean, they prepared 6 months just for this occasion. He called for her. Bring forth my queen, that you may be able to see her beauty. So he called for her. And she refused to come. He said, whoa, what you talking about? You refused to come. I done put all this into you, and I'm calling for you to come forth, that your beauty may be seen by all
all the kings and all the people that are here, you don't want to come out here when I call for you? And she says, no. Now, it's got to be amazing because evidently she must have done that before. I believe he must have had parties before because Queen Vesta had to come out beforehand. But this time she denied him. Well, whatever it was, they was there. Her and her beauty, she refused to come. And so all the kings that were there, so wait a minute. You mean you called for your queen and she refused to come? He says, king, you better do something about this. He said, because if you don't, all of our wives are going to think they can do the same thing. He says, you better get rid of her. She refused to listen. All the beauty that she had, all the beauty that was inside of her, was automatically, all of a sudden, she wasn't the beautiful queen anymore because she denied him. She wouldn't come when he called. Everything she looked like was not the same anymore. So after they told him, do something about this woman, get rid of her. And so he did. He had to get rid of her. The woman that he thought was so beautiful. What is it inside of you that makes you look not as beautiful as you did before? Have you picked up on something in your life that is not godly, that makes you, even though your outward appearance may be nice, what is it inside of you that may have caused you to change? So he says, well, let me find me somebody else, a beautiful virgin. So they looked around trying to find a beautiful virgin. And they found the niece of Mordecai, Esther. Man, they finally got a hold of Esther. Remember I told you they had a school for beauty? They took Esther. 6 months she went through the part of feeding her special foods, special vegetables, getting her body together, beautiful. For 6 months they did all of this, adorned her, checked her out for size and everything else, make sure everything was perfect. Second 6 months they took special oils and they oiled her down and they put all this finery on her to make her look beautiful, to make her look like the finest one. For 1 whole year they prepared her after she was picked to be the next queen. Esther was gorgeous. Esther was gorgeous. Esther fulfilled what the king wanted. So now she received all the benefits. Your heart was filled with pride because of your beauty. You corrupted your wisdom for the sake of your splendor. Because we tend to have a misguided view of beauty, those who are physically beautiful can be harmed by it. They can also use their beauty in a corrupt way. And those who are not beautiful may become victims of discrimination. Terrible. I heard a woman one time say this: I am so pretty. I am so beautiful. Now you say, now what woman would say that? I hear it. I've heard women say that. I am beautiful. And I know I'm beautiful. That's why men can't keep their hands off of me. That's why men are always trying to, what's the word she uses? That's why men are always trying to date me. Because I'm so beautiful. I said, oh, something's wrong here somewhere. And so I say this: you may be beautiful, and you may be attracting a lot of men. But the question that I have is, what kind of men are you attracting?
Amen.
Because they're coming from everywhere. Amen. Why do they come from everywhere? Be careful how you adorn yourself.
Amen.
Be careful what kind of clothes you put on. I mean, you can be beautiful without wearing some of the clothes I see some of the ladies wearing. That doesn't mean that you're attractive. That means you may be sexually, what's the word I want to see? Passion, whatever it means. Flashing. That doesn't mean you're beautiful, but in your eyesight you may think that's beautiful. But then, like I said, one woman said to me, why do I always pick men that are so dirty and so rotten. Why do I always pick men like that? My question to her was this: what kind of food are you putting out there? If you're putting out dog food, you're going to draw dogs.
Oh, Jesus.
What kind of food are you putting out there? So you got to be careful what you're putting out, because whatever you put out is what you're going to draw in. What you call as beauty may not be the beauty that men see. They might be seeing something other than the beauty that you see. So be careful of that. Be careful of that.
Amen.
Beauty is important, but you got to be careful. Beautiful appearance does not always mean beautiful conduct. Just because you look good doesn't mean the conduct is always good. Just because you look good doesn't mean you're always going to be praised. Ezekiel says, you use the beautiful embroidered clothes I gave you to cover your idols. Then you use my oil and incense to worship them. You defiled your beauty, offering your body to every passerby in an endless stream of prostitution. Why did you do that? I gave you everything you needed to make you beautiful. And you took the beauty that I gave you and you started worshiping idols with all of those things. It's like saying I gave you everything that I have. I've dressed you the best I know how to dress you. I put the best clothes on you I can afford. I gave you everything you can possibly use. I've given you everything you can imagine. Then you go to another guy. So it happened here in Ezekiel. Did the best for her. Did everything she could. But they took those things and they used them to worship idols. Yes. What about that beautiful thing that you have? Beauty can be used for evil, and when it is, it becomes very ugly. What a term to use. Beauty can become very ugly. I've seen, and I never see a beautiful man. I'm sorry, I just don't see beautiful men. That's just not me. You might be dressed nice and everything else, but you'll never hear me say you're beautiful. To me, I use that term strictly for my wife. That's what I use it for. So there are different kinds of models for beauty. In 1 Corinthians 15:41, the sun has one kind of glory, while the moon and the stars each have another kind. And even the stars differ from each other as in their beauty and brightness. Beauty comes in assorted sizes, shapes, appearances, and actions. There is no one model for beauty. In a very real sense, each of us, within the context of God's Word, created a model for the beauty we exhibited to others. So I look at you, and I can see beauty in everybody got some beauty in them. You can look at somebody that you may not have seen before, and there can be something about them that's beautiful. Sometimes you got to look for it, but it's there. You're always trying to find the ugly parts of somebody. Look at it. Anytime you read I pulled up my name the other day. Somebody says, Google your name, Pastor. Well, Google your name and see what it says. I Googled my name. And I knew all of it was a lie, it was in there. But everything that you can imagine negative that you could say about a person was on there. There was nothing on there that says I was a pastor. There was nothing on there that says that I was a retired military. There's nothing on there that says I'm a retired engineer. No, but it says I had a felony. It says I had a criminal record. It says I was a possible sex offender. And it says what else? All this, the negative, and what they were doing was they were trying to say all the negative things they could say about me, so that, and then it says, if you want to know the numbers and everything else, download it for this amount of money, and we'll tell you. See, what they were doing was they were setting you up so you could say, oh, that's the pastor. We got to find out something about him. I know who Bill Burton is. So all the negative things you can find out about me that they thought they had on me, you have to pay to get it out off of the Google. I said, now that is so stupid. But in reality, the thing was, they were trying to make money. So the negative things. So what I'm saying is that even when you look at the negative things of someone, it seems like that's what everybody draws for, is the negatives. But I'm telling you, everybody's got some beautiful things inside of them. There's something beautiful about everybody. Sometimes you have to look, but it's there. So every shape, every assorted size, appearance, actions, there's some things beautiful about some people. Excuse me. Inward beauty is much more important than outward beauty. 1 Peter 3:3-5. Don't concern about the outward beauty that depends on fancy hairstyles and expensive jewelry or beautiful clothes. You should be known for the beauty that comes from within. The fading beauty of a gentle, quiet spirit, which is so precious to God. Man, that's got to be. I want to come home in the evenings after a long day. I want to come in to my home and I want to sit down and relax. And believe me, I would love to have a gentle spirit, someone to talk with without anger and a whole bunch of other kind of stuff going on. To me, that is what's beautiful. That's precious. Not only is that precious in my eyesight, but that's precious in God's eyesight. I don't want to have to come home to a lot of bickering and hollering and screaming and stuff. That's not beautiful. Everybody's got some beauty that when you come in, all they want is just a little bit of beauty. Show a little bit of it. That's what it's all about. Beauty, physical beauty fades with age. Inner beauty can mature with age. While we all appreciate looking as nice as we can and strive to do so, it is that inner beauty that prevails now over the long term. If it's in there, it'll last a long time. Even in my age today, that beauty on the inside. I may not look the way I looked whenever I was 18, 20, 21. A military uniform. That's why my honey said when we got married, I went and bought me a beautiful outfit to get married in. She says, no, you look good in your uniform. I want you to get married in your uniform. So I did what? I got married in my uniform, military uniform. And so those are the things that was exciting at that time. But where I'm at today, I would like to believe that there's an inward beauty, even if the outward beauty is not the same. With time and age, it changes. Understand that. It does change. But there's a new feeling of appreciation for each other as you spend time together. The longer you spend together, it's no longer the outward physical look anymore. It's the beauty on the inside that becomes more prevalent. Those are the things you get excited about anymore. Though that inward beauty that has gone with maturity, that has grown over stages of years, and has grown because now it's a different type of beauty. How can my words be beautiful? In Proverbs 15:26. The Lord despises the thoughts of the wicked, but he delights in pure words. Talk to me. Say some things to me that's encouraging. Don't let words always be discouraging. Let them be encouraging. Say encouraging things to your brothers, to your sisters. Say encouraging things to your parishioners, people here in the church. Say encouraging things to one another. It's so important that we do those things. Timely advice is as lovely as golden apples in a silver basket. Beautiful words are the fruit of godly thoughts and character. That's what it's all about. You want the character of God. You want God's character. I'm going to tell you, that'll make you look good. Even if you don't look good on the outside, the character of God will make you look good on the inside. That's what it's all about. What good will it do me if God blessed me with all of these beautiful things? What if God blessed me or has blessed me with a beautiful home? I got a home and I say, this is the most beautiful home. This is what I've been praying for. This is beautiful. What good is it for me to have a beautiful home that nobody wants to come to visit me in?
Amen.
Worked all those years. Threw people down in the gutter just to get through to get this beautiful home. Did all the things I needed to do, but now I got this beautiful home and got nobody to come home to enjoy it with. What if I just said, okay, Lord, I worked hard and I got this beautiful car. I like cars because I call cars beautiful all the time, but cars are nice. But what good is it to have a beautiful car that I can't drive anywhere, or I got nobody to ride with me, or nobody wants to ride with me? Doesn't do you any good at all. So these things that we do. So our actions. I want to be able to make my actions better. That when God does bless me with these beautiful things, it's not just for me. 1 Timothy 2:10 says, Women who claim to be devoted to God should make themselves attractive by the good things they do. Beautiful conduct is the fruit of godly thoughts and character. How can my worship be beautiful? We need to spend time worshiping. How do I make my worship to be beautiful? If Psalms 31:33 says, "Let the godly sing with joy to the Lord, for it is fitting to praise Him." Beautiful worship is the fruit of beautiful relationship with God. That's what beauty really is. It's a beautiful relationship with God. That's beauty. That's a relationship that we have. How beautiful is promises from God. As Proverbs 31:30. Charm is deceptive, and beauty does not last. But a woman who fears the Lord will be greatly praised. That's what it's all about. Loving God who He is, loving Jesus, living your life for Him, letting Him dwell within inside of you. Your outward appearance doesn't mean a thing anymore. The question that I say to you is, who is Jesus inside of you? If there is a Jesus inside of you that's got you doing the things that God wants you to do, and He's working it through your life, all of a sudden, no matter what you adorn, no matter how you comb your hair, no matter what clothes you wear, no matter what it may be, you can still be a beautiful, beautiful person because it's the Jesus inside of you that's coming out of you. Amen. That's His beauty. So I'm saying to you today, quit looking on people on the outside and start realizing who they are on the inside. Who they are on the inside. Start looking at the things inside of somebody that can give you the beauty that God has for you. He has already installed it inside of you. You take it and you go with it. Show the world. Let them see the beauty that Jesus has already put inside of you. He is the King of Kings. He is the Lord of Lords. That's where the beauty comes from. Men, show your wives. Let them know how beautiful they are. That when the age time comes, and the outward appearance is no longer the same as it is in the younger years, the maturity of life will cause it to be even more beautiful than it was at the beginning. It's more beautiful at the end than it is at the beginning. What good is life being? That if when I get to my latter years, when I've done all that I know I can do, and I'm saying that my health has drawn down, I want to know that I have somebody in my life that I can call upon. That I haven't thrown everybody to the side. That the beauty that I've shown people through my life will cause them to want to come and to be with me. I can be beautiful, but if I've lived a life where I've shed people off and I've pushed people off and I've done those things, those same people will not want to be around you in your latter years. Show God's beauty. That's what's more important. Show God's beauty. Trust in Him. Believe in Him. Let this big Jesus that lives inside of you, let His beauty show through. Amen?
Amen.
Amen.
Amen.